Namaste ji, namaste. Welcome to Courtroom by TLY ki Atma, right? And today we are going to be discussing about the dark night of the soul, basically. And during this period of life, it's almost a certainty that everything is going to go south on you, and that's the bad news about it. The good news about it that after the storm ends, you won't be the same person who entered it. This period in life usually lasts about 1,000 odd days. Now, I have a theory that the number 108 is significant in our culture, and there is something ajeeb about that number, very, very extremely strange about that number. So, if you want to, let us say, you want to work out and you want to build muscle, usually the result appears after 108 days of a consistent, structured workout program. So, even if at 5 days a week, but you have to make sure that you go at it for 108 days. So that is roughly around 3 months with 2 more weeks added to it. And so that's 90 plus 18. So this dark night of the soul usually lasts for around 3 odd years. Why does it do that? I really do not know. In which maybe your relationships may collapse all around you. Maybe you suffer a death of a parent or a child. Maybe the death of your work, the death of your finances. Sorry for that, or anything. In fact, anything. I have seen people's lives collapsing because they entered into this period, and they were quite surprised as to what sort of karams did they do well to get this in life. And I'll tell you very honestly, there are just no answers. Because there's a certainty that this period almost always pops up in everyone's life. So for example, even if you are Shah Rukh Khan, your son is going to get arrested in a drugs ka case, and your movies are not going to work out. That may cause you significant pain in life. It may not give you financial pain, well, because now you're Shah Rukh Khan and you have too much money, but it'll give you the torturous sort of pain of the soul. Atma ka ghao, as it is called in Hindi. Sharir ka ghao is different. Atma ka ghao is different. Now, when you enter this dark night of the soul, please try to remember that please do not become an alcoholic. I'm warning you beforehand. What alcohol does is, so everyone has a therapist called as Old Monk or Johnny Walker. That's the global therapist. Basically, India specific is Old Monk, and well, for everyone else, it's basically the Scottish people do the trick, or the Japanese. Nowadays Japanese whiskeys do quite well, but any which way, whiskey basically, whiskey or any sort of liquor. What that tends to do to you is it basically fries your liver. Liver is your kaleja, and kaleja is already in a lot of pain thanks to the dark night of the soul, and now you are asking it to process a lot of poison. Now, I'm not against alcohol, but I'm not very in support of people who cannot control it drinking it. So you only can drink the drink till the time that it is not drinking you. Let me say it again. You want to drink, or you can drink, or you should drink only till the time that the drink is not drinking you. So try not to become an alcoholic. I know it's very, very tough. Your friends are going to say, well, have a couple of drinks and basically chill out in life. But try not to, because it tends to go out of control very, very fast first. So you can try not to become a diabetic during this period of time, because you'll be doing a lot of stress eating, a lot of binge eating, a lot of deep fried food eating, and out of nowhere you'll be doing this, and you will be having a lot of desserts, and you will be having a lot of fat filled food. I'm not saying don't have it. I'm saying you might just want to keep a check on the limitations that you can impose basically on such stuff. Because during this period of life, during the dark night of the soul, you because this period is going to end after 3 odd years. Some people may say, oh, Shani ki dhaiya, and it's 2.5 years. I'm not going into go into Jyotish, but as per my practical experience, it lasts 3 years, 1008 days, you can say. So 365 into 3, whatever the maths comes out, and then you can add on to the days. The dark night of the soul can also get triggered by love, by the death of a loved one, by the death of a relative, thanks to um, whose feet or whose fate you were having your food and fortune in life. In my case, that was my nani, and when she passed away on the 31st of December 22, the dark night of my soul pretty much started, and well, it lasted quite a while. So that can also trigger it. So you must not allow yourself to sink into the deepest, darkest mess, so that when this time ends, and it does end, you are able to get back up on your 2 feet with a capable body. You do not wish to destroy this, because once this goes, I kid you not, it's a lot of pain. You just do not wish to develop sciatica pain, sciatica nerve pain. You do not wish to develop a spinal cord problem. You do not wish to gain too much excessive weight, because post a certain age it doesn't really come off all that easily. You do not wish to have too many drinks, or you do not wish to become a diabetic. And because once you do that, then well, further dark night of the soul is waiting for you down the line, because well, this is a repeating sort of a phase. This is not a one time sort of a thing. This can repeat maybe a decade down the line, maybe 2 decades down the line. We never really know. You can go to all the temples in the world that you want to and basically seek answers, and you can go to all Jyotishis of the world and basically seek answers. Then they'll almost always blame it either on Saturn or Rahu, or any other factors that are basically not working out for you in your horoscope. But the thing is that they will try to tell you the same thing, that this is a period that is going to end. And the trouble is that if you become a diabetic, if you become an alcoholic, if you become a substance abuser, let us say that you get into drugs of the Manali kinds, then you're screwed any which way. Then you're screwed even more when this time ends. And I know it is very easy for me to pontificate to you that do not do these things, because you will tend to. But once you have heard this pravachan of mine, perhaps you are already aware, or you are already awake a little. And after your initial gum ka phase ends, which is like the tivra roop of this dark night of the soul, the peak is around the 2 year mark. It gets worse post that. So the last year is the most difficult, क्योंकि वो हाथी निकल जाता है और पूंछ रह जाती है, and that is basically the most difficult. So you might just want to do that, right? And walking helps in my experience. I will not tell you to work out. Walking helps if you can do it. You'll just have to drag yourself through it. That's just about it. And nothing else works, because I will not tell you to work out, because to work out also, you need a certain sort of motivation and momentum. When you are completely down and out in life, I just do not see you doing a workout. That's for sure. People say that God is testing you to do more sadhana. I do not agree with that either, because even to do sadhana, you have to have a lot of you need to get your mental frame right first. So and God, unless and until you have a very special relationship with God that has been built over the years, God will, generally speaking, will not ruin your life just to test devotion. I mean, God is not exactly that cruel. But yeah, in certain forms of God, it can be said that that is the path that you chose. But let's not get into more esoteric occult gyan here. Then during the dark night of the soul, you will also tend to listen to a lot of Jagjit Singh and a lot of basically melancholic music, a lot of depressive stuff that will tend to depress you further. You will tend to cry also randomly, which is absolutely okay, because tears need to flow out of you. Tears and sweat almost always needs to flow out of you for your body to function well. So if बात बात पे रोना आ जाएगा while you're speaking, while even you're having a conversation with someone, you will just you will feel that your eyes have gone slightly moist. And that's a trait, nothing wrong with you, because you are undergoing a lot of suffering at that particular moment in time. And if you think that you are the most unique case out there, unique snowflake out there that is going through this time, no, all go through such hell in life. And yeah, and then more surprises await you post the dark night of the soul ends, but those are minor surprises. But once this dark period of yours start, whenever it starts, you need to give it a fight. You must, go out fighting. Even if you were to collapse completely, you must go out on your shield. Essentially, you must take a sankalp that you're going to fight it out. You will not be able to remain happy. That's the most nonsensical crap advice that I've ever heard. Is be happy, be positive. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. When you are undergoing hell, it doesn't work like that. So kindly please be a little mindful of that fact that that you won't be able to be happy, and basically that's absolutely okay. And sometimes the eyes will become moist. You will also become a lot more empathetic, and you will be able to understand the world's problems a lot better than you essentially did before, because now, well, you know what happens when you get hit hard by life. And well, none of us ever presume when we are in our 11th and 12th grades that, that sometimes we may also need to undergo a divorce, or perhaps adopt a child or something like that. We just cannot, you know who thinks like that. But life tends to give you surprises. Like, for example, there's this woman who's, my heart goes out to her. And she lost her son right now in Mumbai, and wherein a tree fell on a bus, and the child died. That was like a 10, 11-year-old child. And well, of course, the BMC in all its glory gave itself a clean chit, because in our country, any which way, the life of the value of a human life is quite less, because we are too many. But that mother won't most likely ever be able to recover from this loss. So now that's her dark night of the soul. I do not know why this has happened. I do not know what karams are there. I cannot even justify it, or I can't vindicate it. No amount of justification can basically justify, can give you an explanation of this sort of horrendous event that has the capacity to kill someone, mentally speaking. So this dark night of the soul is going to be painful, because it is going to make you shed the older version of you. The older personality is going to be cremated. It is going to be laid bare on a funeral pyre, and you will need to bow its ashes. As we've discussed previously, life is all about letting go. And that is the human experience, essentially. You just have to undergo it, because we are born in this realm. I mean, this happens here all the bloody time. Don't you ever let yourself be a victim of human existence, and generally speaking, human traits as well. But any which way, now coming back to the dark night of the soul, is that post cremating your older personality, you will need to settle in with the fact that a new personality is now there in your body, and it's going to take a while to get used to it as well. So a lot of crying is going to happen, a lot of emotional, ups and downs are going to happen. If you are a male, then you're going to get taunted by other males as well, that you're acting like a female, in all their subtle misogyny, I would say. It's not misogyny exactly, but it's looking down upon a specific gender, which is slightly more emotional than males generally speaking are. And so as a male, you can't even talk about it all that much publicly. As as a female, perhaps you'll get the remedy of shadi kar lo, bachcha kar lo. Perhaps this is going to solve it. No, that's not how it works. So during these 1,000 days, you have to keep a check on yourself. You have to hold it together. You have to hang on. You have to listen into good music. Good music really, really helps. You have to read some self-help books, perhaps, or even consult a very good therapist. I do not know of any. I do not even trust people to have a good intellectual level to be a good therapist to begin with, but that's me. So if you find one, you want to talk to someone, you can. These days, talk to AI perhaps and resort to Chat GPT by talking again and again with it. Buy a pro plan if you wish to, but just talk it all out, cry it all out, and yeah, be just expect it. Just expect this, that that you will have your dark night of the soul. Be prepared for it mentally. Don't run away from it. It's going to happen any which way. And be ready to fight it out, that these 3 years of your life are going to be not exactly a very, very happy space. But whatever God does, comma, does it for the best is what I believe. And things are going to work out. But you will only see why whatever happened to you, that why the hell did it happen in the first place, you will only see post 3.5 years from whatever it is that you're suffering with. If you seek a remedy in the comments, I have none for you. All I'll say is do chaliyas to tapao this time. You can perhaps, do a 41 day at Bangla Sahib Gurdwara if you believe in a Gurdwara. Gurdwaras are the easiest to basically approach because they're quite open. If you believe in temples, if you believe in specific forms of divinity, well, go there and do a 41 day each, because that's the fastest way to tapao time. Once you have committed that you will show up at that temple for 41 odd days, please make sure that you complete it. And it should be a temple or a gurdwara that is slightly, or a mosque if you belong to the Islam faith, but it should be slightly away from your house so that there is some time going and there is some time coming back, so that overall the day gets cut. Because, well, how our 3 years are going to be made up of days? So the day needs to get really decimated for the 3 years to tapify, right? Ignore my very colloquial use of language. Yeah, it's not that I have a bad vocab. It's just, okay, it's a Friday night, and I've been working since morning, but I wanted to shoot this because this topic had come into my uh, conscious while doing some part puja, and I wanted to talk about it. And then if you are the part puja kinds, perhaps you can do anushtans to tapao this time. Anushthan is basically an 11 day, 21 day, 41 day commitment, just like a chalya. So you sit at a specific place, a specific time, with specific direction, specific clothes, whatever you decide, and then basically you do it, right? Do not try to become more depressed than you already are. I know, very easily said by me than actually, because this then actually done. Care, the framing is incorrect. Easier said than done. Watch movies if you wish to. If you are a male who is fond of video games, play video games. I am waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6 to land so that I can finally buy this generation of consoles. But that's a good way to top our time. I mean, how else are you going to top our time? But these things happen in life. These things happen in life, and people will explain to you that it's nazar. Then you will try to find answers in the occult. You will try to find remedies, and nothing's going to work out. It's just time. आपका बुरा वक्त आ गया, मुबारक हो. आना ही होता है, हर किसी का आता है. We are not, no one's immune to it. And then you will try to find answers in karams. You will also try to find answers via jyotish, and nothing's going to make sense to you. I'm not saying do not resort there, but mostly nothing's going to make sense to you. Yeah, and that's about it. So save yourself during the dark night of the soul. Resolve that you are going to come out stronger. Sometimes the only way to save yourself from the storm is to go through the storm. That's the only way out of it, and eventually you will be out of it. But you do not wish to have a weaker mind and a weaker body. you at least wish to have the same body that entered this phase. I know it is very tough, but you can do it. 50% at least you can. 50% as in you can preserve the body. 50% most likely the damage is going to be there, but you want to minimize it as much as possible, because without the body we can't do anything in this realm. I mean, bhoot pret pisaches die for this body. There is something unique about this body, buddy. So you want to take care of it as much as you possibly can. And then in the second loop, because you will have new software installed in you, and this dark night of the soul is very painful, because once the new software, the new mental mode is being installed in you, it is a very painful process. So once the new software is installed in you, आपके पर तो कट जाएंगे, पंखे तो आपके कट जाएंगे, चौधरी बनती आपकी खत्म हो जाएगी. That is a certainty. So then post that, you must be a humble and always work with humility, and do not make the same mistakes again that can induce a dark night of the soul a decade down the line, by the way. Do not do that. So if you are in this phase, let us say financially, due to some ultra high end luxury shopping, you were extremely careless with your money, I mean, don't do it again, because, well, that's a pattern, and if it repeats, you already know what happens. Of course, if it's a death, etc., then, well, you can't do anything to avoid it. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there in a lot of pain. Believe you me, those stories are not there on the internet, because none of that stuff sells. I mean, look at these videos. Pain and grief doesn't sell. Only I made it in life, I should have done this, and you need to work out more, you need to work more sells. You need to earn as much money as possible sells. These stories, they are there offline, and a lot of people go through a lot of pain, including celebrities. So if you enter this period, I'll wrap this up now. If you enter this period, A, be prepared to exit it as well, because it ends. Second, be prepared to fight it out. C, it happens with everyone, whether they want to talk about it, whether they want to disclose it or not, because it's a common axiom that people do like to see your demise and downfall. So that's why not many people disclose their gums as well openly. Gums, Hindi wale gums, not English wale gums. Okay. All right. So on that note, all the best with your grief, all the best with your pain, all the best with the dark night of the soul. I hope a dark night, KNIGHT wala, that is your shadow self, comes in and saves you. And enjoy the ride. Sit with the grief. Do not try to run away with it. Nothing will happen. You will just waste stamina. And go through with it. And perhaps if you come out on the other side, you will find the older you has vanished, and there's a brand new person who's sitting there. All right. Wishing you folks all the very best with the dark night of the soul. Take care. Bye.